Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and I'm Lee, and that's Susan. And today, as she's doing that with her hands, of course, she's trying to imitate the movie poster there. We'll be talking a 2017 movie called Life, a simple title, Life, starring Rebecca Ferguson, Ryan Reynolds, Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a science fiction movie, but it's not that too far from science fiction as it could happen, because we're always out there venturing out into the outer space looking for life, and this is what these astronauts in the space station discover: a new life. I think it was Mars, wasn't it, Susan, where they discovered it from? So I'll go over to Susan with her opening thoughts on life.
All right. Well, yeah, it was. Well, okay. I'm going to start off by trying to uh, trigger Lee, and then I will make my
Look,
opening thoughts more universally acceptable. It's basically a Dalek story, and these Daleks ate all the life on Mars. So that's where it went. We were always like, where did it all go? Why isn't there life here? And people say, like, it's probably just because the reason you find maybe sort of life particles is because it's a blowback from cosmic wind blowing through Earth's atmosphere, through across the surface of the Earth, picking up life and impelling it across and
mhm,
positing it on Mars. I mean, that's one theory of why there may be life on Mars. The other theory is that it was there. It it evolved, or it appeared at the same time as the life on Earth, and it has been destroyed due to oxygen poor uh, atmosphere and horrible situations with water. And then there's the Doctor Who story where the Ice Warriors are still buried underneath. They're the true rulers of Mars, and science fiction has talked about it a lot. There's Out of the Silent Planet series by C.S. Lewis, and there's the Martian story, with the one that starred Matt Damon, and the Red Planet story. Um, so this life form apparently ate all the life on Mars and is now trying to hitch a ride to Earth, and found some astronauts to do that with. And it basically became a little squiddy thing with a really, really horrible maw. And uh, it it had a, there's it's got a lot of really brutal, violent points in it because of the the fierceness of the creature. The creature was uh, quite brutal and strong and physically intimidating, and you know emotionally intimidating too. And so yeah, and it all takes place basically on the International Space Station,
yeah.
and and so yeah, it's a really interesting story, and it's uh, you know because the creature looks and acts the way it does. I've seen a lot of these stories over the past 57, 56, 58 years. There was one in 1963 that I didn't see it then, but I saw it later. But it was in 1963, and it had a planet called Skaro and all this stuff, and like that really, that little squiddy guy underneath that uh, uh, trench coat was real. I don't know. So fun to see all these character actors who have done Marvel stuff together in in a proper science fiction story, not a superhero science fiction story. And so that was really interesting, and yeah, it also reminded me slightly of Alien and a number of and of Gravity because of all the EVAs. Anytime there's an EVA, I love it. I love extravehicular activity. Spacewalks are like, oh my god, what are you doing? Getting out of your spaceship. I love them. They are like, I talk about Jeopardy in a storyline, and you leave your spaceship in your spacesuit, and you're out there, and I mean anything can happen. I mean, it's just crazy what can happen when you're outside of your spaceship in a spacesuit. So yeah, I'm not like that. That is proper Jeopardy.
Mm.
That is the fear factor of outer space in my humble opinion. And so yeah, they really did a good job with the spacewalks, and yeah. So passing it back to you, Lee. Uh, what do you think of the Dalek story?
You see, I'm not going to even talk Doctor Who when we're talking about life movie. Um, you're not gonna trigger me. But just what you said there on the cover of the DVD,
Yeah.
it says one of these quotes. I don't know if you can see, but down at the bottom there, "Alien meets gravity."
Oh yeah.
So exactly what you said. It's. I mean, it's not an original concept of a movie, but I think this might be one of two movies where, from beginning to end, it's all shot in zero gravity. There's no, everything. They're all floating about all through the movie. They're floating. They're not touching. They're not walking. They're not. It's. I think Gravity was the other one who what did that as well. But I'm watching the making of and documentaries of it.
Oh yeah.
The all the actors were in the harnesses on the wires all through the sets, and it's amazing how they got it made, and you see at the end of it on the screen. It's just amazing how they did it. But so it's an intriguing story, isn't it? I mean, we are out there searching for life. We send probes out there on a regular basis these days, Mars to wherever, to see if we can get soil samples and stuff like that where you could find life. And this little amoeba, what they discovered in this movie, became reactivated and started to grow and started to grow. That could happen in real life if we discovered some minuscule amoeba somewhere from a foreign planet. And as I say, you don't know. And these astronauts didn't know how this life form would react, grow, become intelligent, because it did become intelligent. It learned very quickly. You know what I mean? It was very it was a very intimidating creature, but with a name of Calvin.
That was yeah. Go on.
Calvin, yeah. I mean, that was named from a competition winner on the Earth, wasn't it? Who's call it after our school, Calvin. So they kept calling this life form Calvin. So there was a little bit of humour there, but it was. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. It was a good, just an exciting adventure for me. I like, as you say, when you go for these spacewalks, it's exactly. I mean, okay, I know the actors are in a studio, they're on harnesses and all like that, but when they do the movie magic, it takes your breath away when you watch it and you think, oh wow, I could never do that. I could never become an astronaut and do that. But as you say, though, with an ensemble cast as well, they had a Russian actress, they had a Japanese actor. I can't remember his name now, but he's been in quite a few movies. And you say the three main ones, and to have, I mean, a big star like Ryan Reynolds to be the first one to go, shall we say? Spoilers. in like the first 30 minutes of the movie was when I first saw this movie, I was quite surprised. I thought, oh right, so they were selling it on the thing of that Ryan Reynolds was one of the leads, and he sort of cops it in the first 30-40 minutes. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's as I said, not an original concept, but it was given a fresh lease of life, shall we say? Life. You see what I did there? So that's my opening thoughts there. So shall we go to favourite things? Things what you weren't so keen on?
Yeah, one thing I wasn't so keen on was that the black man died first. I mean, they have to,
He didn't die first.
He did.
It was Ryan Reynolds what died first.
Didn't Hugh die?
What, the one who couldn't walk, who's like,
yeah, the one who he broke the Calvin broke his hand. Okay, there's a good moment. There's a good moment. Okay, when Calvin has Hugh's hand and is busy super extending his fingers and then finally just breaks them all.
Yeah.
And then
that was tense.
Yeah. And then
no, he didn't die first, because if you remember rightly, Ryan Reynolds' character got into the isolation room and got him out, and the creature went into him.
That's right.
Yeah. And that was a bit of a gore fest.
Yeah, it really was. And the creature, Calvin had basically destroyed his leg. Oh my gosh. Calvin's the body horror in this was great. Also the spacewalk with Calvin when he was like crawling up and down and over the body of Katerina. No, what's her name?
The Russian captain.
Yeah, the Russian captain.
That was really well.
Yeah. Far out. It was so good. Oh my gosh, that was
amazing. Especially when she had a water leakage in her helmet, in her suit.
Yeah.
She was struggling there. The water was filling up. Oh God! I was watching that bit, and then I realised I've got to keep breathing. I'd stopped breathing. I was just watching it all.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
And it was the very beginning when Calvin is this little itty bitty thing, and he's got this little itty bitty proboscis, and he's reaching up and touching, and that, I mean, that was magical. I mean, really magical. And then like
It was like sort of swaying and following, wasn't it? It was great.
yeah, and then yeah, when Rory is played by Ryan Reynolds, is stuck in the isolation chamber, and he is destroyed. That was amazing too.
It
And then
was,
at the very end, where you think uh you think that David is the one that gets that's sent out into outer space, but
yeah, there was a bit of a twist there, wasn't there?
God, that twist was like, oh no 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 no, oh no no no.
Yeah, because it's sort of the sort of two shuttles sort of collided together, didn't they? As the space station was collapsing,
Yeah,
and the way it was shot, you thought, oh yeah, he's the Calvin and him had been sent flying off into space. It was wet, and Rebecca Ferguson's character is heading to Earth to warn them. But no, 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 no,
yeah.
it was the other
Miranda
way
did
around.
not make it to Earth, and Calvin did
Yeah,
in a
that,
big way. He'd filled up that whole space capsule on the inside with little proboscises.
oh yeah,
Probosci. Anyway.
you and your big words.
Oh my gosh, that was just amazing. Yeah, that was incredible. Uh, and then you're like, he's like saying, no, 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 don't open the capsule. Huh? And those fishermen are like, this has got to be open. What you do? I mean, you'd
Oh, yeah,
assume that because if you've been watching splash landings for the past 60, 70 years, you know that the minute they get home, you got to pop them out.
mm,
I mean that's part of what you kind of know, and pretty much everyone around the world has all seen that.
that's true. It's
So it's
it,
playing on some like history memory sort of thing.
it's I mean, you hope for a happy ending, don't you? But
Huh.
as the credits roll with the song "Spirit in the Sky" by Norman Greenbaum, which you don't really expect.
You know, yeah,
um, it, yeah, it's a thought provoking ending
yeah,
because it could because in the not so distant future that situation could happen if we ever discover life. You say we don't know if it's going to be nice or bad. Uh,
this one was a Dalek.
there she goes again.
Do you have any favorite moments that you want to tell me? Because I just like went through pretty much.
So you went through most of them, but there's one thing I'm trying to sort out in my head. Uh, I know they say they was trying to keep Calvin outside, but when they was all in one room together, how the hell did Calvin attach himself round the guy's leg? I know the guy wouldn't have felt it because he was paralyzed from waist down, but how did he get into his uniform and without other people seeing it? And I just that one for me was a bit of a miss. I thought, well, hold on a minute, they must have edited something out there. Because all of a sudden, because Calvin was outside, locked outside the space station.
Yeah, and you were watching him bebop around on the monitor, right?
So the next time you see him, he's wrapped around the guy's leg, and I'm thinking, well, how did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if that was a bit of bad editing there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, and one of the Well, it was sort of a subtle scene as well when it was just the Jake and Rebecca left alive, shall we say, was where they were running out of oxygen. You know, they were panicking that the space station was going to re-enter, Earth's gravity. They were just talking away, and you felt the coldness of space, that the breath. You could see the breath, and it was just so well acted. And I felt literally when I was watching it, I felt really cold. Yeah, so that scene there did work well for me. I thought, God, yeah, the coldness of space. So, but all in all, I think you've mentioned all the other things. I mean, okay, yeah, the Japanese character didn't realise it wasn't a rescue, because Ferguson's character tells us all that the way to it was always what she agreed to. If it did turn out violent, push us out into space, keep us away from Earth as much as possible. But the guy didn't realise that. Opened the hatch. The other two astronauts who came to push him out were killed. He was killed, and then all of a sudden, the space station started breaking up. Now that was a good scene.
That was amazing.
They're clambering up the Calvin was coming up after him. That was so, which reminded me of Alien as well.
Yeah.
With the air being sucked out, which was brilliantly done. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Anything else you want to say about life?
No.
Well, I mean, we know the meaning of life is 42. So we know that.
Life,
We also
and everything.
Yes, and we also know that the question has been asked many times by David Bowie: is there life on Mars?
Yeah.
So, but it's never mentioned in his song a Dalek. So we don't.
I applaud your David Bowie reference.
Hey, when it comes to Bowie, ooh.
I know, right?
I'll get, if you can get Dalek references in, I'll get Bowie references in.
That's cricket.
Yeah. So shall we go to final say and score then?
Sure.
Over to you.
All right. I will. All these science fiction movies are so interesting and so intriguing. And this one's pretty horrible and pretty amazing. And so I'll give it 9 probosci, little squiggly bits out of 10.
Okay, that's not a bad score. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. As I said at the beginning, it's not an original concept, because you can see things taken from here, taken from there, and mixed up to make this movie. But saying that, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I mean, I don't know why wasn't a well-known movie. I mean, it's only 2017, so it's only a few years old.
And it's got like 70. Alex was saying it's 70 on the tomato chart, so it's not panned.
Yeah, so it's to say when it was picked randomly last week, it's you mostly had never heard of it, but this is it. Yeah, people haven't really heard of it. So, but you get movies like that. You get movies what you sit down and watch, and you think, wow, that is an amazing movie. Why doesn't anybody else know about this? But here, yeah, oh yeah, I'm scoring, aren't I? I was going off on a tangent then. I think I'm going to join Susan because of just the originality side, not the lack of the originality of it. Yeah, I'm going to give it 9, and I can't say the word Susan says, so I'm going to give it 9 shuttle pods out of 10. So that is our little review of Life. And if you guys, out there, check it out. It's a nice little movie. I'd like to thank Susan for joining me, talking everything about life, Daleks, Ice Warriors, Martians, anything but life. You guys out there, please leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of the movie. If you would like to join us on these casts, just message, and we'll see if we can get you on in future ones. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. I'm talking to YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, which you mostly are, please, if you want to be notified when we put videos up, there's a little bell notification on YouTube. Press it once you've subscribed, and every time we put something up, a little ding will go, and then you'll know there's a brand new video gone up. So until next time, please be safe out there, and remember, is there life on Mars?